Good morning, MBC. This is Pastor Charlie coming to you with the Word of God today for August 24th, 2021. Reading portion for Tuesday. I'm reading from the NIV, the book of Judges, chapter 9, verses 16 through 25. Have you acted honorably and in good faith by making Abimelek king? Have you been fair to Jerub-Baal and his family? Have you treated him as he deserves? Remember that my father fought for you and risked his life to rescue you from the land of Midian. But today you have revolted against my father's family. You have murdered his 70 sons on a single stone and have made Abimelek, the son of his female slave, king over the citizens of Shechem because he is related to you. So have you acted honorably and in good faith towards Jerub-Baal and his family today? If you have, may Abimelek be your joy, and may you be his too. If you have not, let fire come out from Abimelek and consume you, the citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo, and let fire come out from you, the citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo, and consume Abimelek. Then Jotham fled, escaping to Beer, and he lived there because he was afraid of his brother Abimelek. After Abimelek had governed Israel 3 years, God stirred up animosity between Abimelek and the citizens of Shechem, so that they acted treacherously against Abimelek. God did this in order that the crime against Jerub-Baal's 70 sons, the shedding of their blood, might be avenged on their brother Abimelek and on the citizens of Shechem who had helped him murder his brothers. In opposition to him, these citizens of Shechem set him on the hilltops to ambush and rob everyone who passed by, and this was reported to Abimelek. This is the word of the Lord. Reading from Judges, we see the conclusion. We saw already at the conclusion of Gideon's career as a judge over Israel. And later on, there's a little epilogue where it is stated that he had taken quite a bit of wives. He had 70 sons under different wives. So there was polygamy. And also, another thing that remains on record was that after a victorious conclusion of his career trajectory, we saw that he had collected the gold earrings from the Midianites, and he had made this golden ephod, this breastplate, and then it was on display, and the people succumbed to the worshiping of this item, to adore it. So this kind of gives us clue as to what idolatry really looks like in this day and age. We have things that we assign so much of our affection to, undue affection, things that cannot love us back. We adore it and we exalt it, praise it, and that is what amounts to idolatry, folks. So it would be a good place to see how things unfold after that. Now, Jerub-Baal had one of the sons from the female slaves, Abimelek, and basically this is the kind of a tumultuous time while there was no king. They have made Abimelek as a king, and Abimelek, like the son of a warlord, has actually consolidated the power to himself. This is really the stuff of really far worse than any like mafioso stories where brothers are killing each other to consolidate power, and this is exactly what happens. And Jotham, one of the sons, who narrowly escapes, he is now speaking against these treacherous acts. And it turns out that the people of Shechem, they made Abimelek king out of the fact that they're just blood related. They come from the same tribe, I guess. And so it's a fair amount of nepotism. What we see clearly is that when a man is so insecure about himself and has to consolidate power by eliminating 70 of his other brothers, well, I mean, that's a treacherous king in the making. And so what we see is the prophecy that was pronounced. I want to actually call it a prophecy, because he leaves it kind of open-ended. No, he doesn't just say this is what's going to happen, but if. It's like the prophecy made in the style of, let God be the judge of what happens. Let God be the judge of what your motives were. It's really well done, I gotta say. Even though he has to flee for the fear of his life, escaping to the town called Beer, we see that if you have acted honorably in good faith towards Gideon and his family, Jerub-Baal and his family, well, then may Abimelek be your joy, and may you be his joy too. May it be just a really happy get together. But if you have not acted in good faith, then let the fire come out of Abimelek and consume you. And later on, we see in verse 24 that there was, actually verse 23, God had stirred up animosity between Abimelek and the citizens of Shechem, because of the crime against Jerub-Baal's 70 sons, shedding their blood, that they might be avenged on their brother Abimelek and on the citizens of Shechem, who had helped him murder his brothers. It's pretty simple, cut and dry. It's not good. It's not good to kill your brothers, right? What we see is immediate retribution. And although this is not something that happens right away, we do put a fair amount of hope in that. Yes, Jesus calls us to forgive, and that's the highest road that we can all take. But the only reason why we can forgive is because we have that the ultimate judgment is in God's hands. That this time we have that perspective. Right now we're going through some really atrocious crimes being committed against Christians in the land of in the territory of Afghanistan, and all of this, what we're reading in Judges, is it resonates with that. And I pray, and I want you to join me, brothers and sisters, to pray in solidarity that the times that they have to endure of this persecution from the Taliban would be cut short, and that those who commit these crimes, that God would open their eyes, and that they would be convicted away from these atrocities, and that our brothers and sisters will be faithful until the very end, glorifying the name of the Lord, and that we would not sit here in the safety that we luxuriate ourselves in, and to think of ourselves completely separate from this, but that we would, Lord, that God would allow us to be there really in our spirit, in prayer, solidarity, that the time of persecution will be cut short for their sake, and that those who are doing the injustices, and those who are in responsibility, in the shared responsibility of these things, that they would be brought to justice. That is my prayer for today. And I ask that you join me in this prayer. And may your whole day and this whole week go well with you as you pursue and seek his kingdom and his righteousness. Blessings to you.